Hello my lovelies and welcome back to Sundering Tarot. We'll be using from Roots to Blooms, an oracle deck again for today's daily tarot reading, and I've been asked to do the numerology this time. Unnumbered cards will be given the value of 1, and we're also going to do a different spread. We're going to be doing a Celtic cross today, so apologies if this is slightly longer, but we're going to go ahead and give this a try. Alright, my lovelies, I am back, and we're going to begin our reading with the Heart of the Matter. Leaves, receive, transmute, release. Another card we had just the other day when I read from this deck. This time it's actually closing and beginning of a chapter. Okay, so we're in transition, in between space. Either trying to leave a chapter behind or trying to begin the new one. What comes next? And what that means for us, or to us, or those that are in our family, in our inner circle, those that we have of high value soul tribe family, those that actually count for something in our world. Alright, and we're going to move on to our obstacle, or how to get over our obstacle. We have 2 cards for your obstacle, or how to get over your obstacle. We have release your regrets, fears, guilt, shame. Acknowledge your fears. In other words, get the heck out of your own way. Believe it or not, how you think, how you feel is literally what's hindering you, what's stopping you. You're stopping yourself, or you're taking on perceptions or projections of other people and making them your own. And that is preventing you from doing what you need to, doing what you want, and moving on, transitioning. Beginning that new cycle. So yeah, that's literally both the obstacle and how to get over your obstacle. If we acknowledge our fears, we can get over it. Releasing all the regrets and all the baggage we take on is also a way for us to overcome, but it's also one of the reasons why we're stopped in the first place. Perhaps something did not play out the way you wish, or in hindsight you realize you could have handled something better. And how you feel about that and how you think about it, the memory of it, is preventing you from taking the proper steps forward. Next, we're going to look at our recent past. Our recent past. Doubt kills more dreams than failure. Remember I said something about taking on the perception or opinions of others, somebody else's perspective. Perhaps you took something to heart, or let someone else's reality become yours temporarily. Let's face it, if you don't create and own your own reality, somebody else will do it for you. And what's even worse is that there's plenty of people out there that will make you doubt yourself. And when that happens, sometimes it's really hard to move forward. You can get stuck in a rut. Granted, that is the recent past. Next, we will be covering the lowest we can achieve. The lowest we can achieve: roots, depth, foundation, strength. And if you watched my video from the other day when I used this deck, this is another repeat card. Just like the Heart of the Matter was a repeat card. Getting our footing underneath us. literally taking the time to go within, discover what's there. In other words, what's buried down deep. In other words, getting to the heart of the matter, the source. Figuring out where our reserve is. In other words, getting our gumption back. What else is here? Finding our flow. Okay, finding our flow. Whether that is our own internal rhythm, or if that's just finding our own flow of energy to help us. Perhaps our regular biorhythms are out of whack, but at the same time, perhaps some of you just fell out of the flow of the natural energy of the universe, and this is you finding your footing so you can get back into the flow. And now it's time for our highest potential. All right, we have 3 cards for your highest potential. We have it's okay living a life that others don't get. Water your garden first. Whose expectations are you judging yourself against? Okay, so not only have we dug deep, dealt with our own emotions, but now we're to a place where we can, stand strong, go, hey, this is me, this is what I want, this is my life. Yes, that doesn't mean it's yours or that you have to live it. You're putting yourself first. You can't pour from an empty cup. And you're also being nicer to yourself, kinder to yourself, how you speak to yourself. Whose expectations are you judging yourself against? In other words, if it's not your reality, your perception, your opinion, then who the hell cares? Okay. You know, if it's somebody that you love, care about, one of those special people in your life, soul tribe, those that you consider family or are family, somebody important, maybe you might consider their opinion worthy of note, but for the most part, no. If it's not coming from you, then white noise. It's just somebody else's viewpoint. And they don't have to be right. Why? Because it's not their life. It's not the biggest impact on your world, especially if it's from a random stranger. No, instead, you're living more authentically. So shedding masks, whereas we have in our heart of the matter, receive, transmute, release. You're getting all that white noise, that input, all the opinions and perspective from others, realizing, hey, that's not my perceptive reality, not my opinion, not mine to own, not my business, and you're letting it go in one ear and out the other. In a way, that's healthy. To go, okay, you can say what you want, but this is my life, this is what I'm doing. Peace out. Next, we'll be looking at the near future. Believe it or not, we have 4 cards for your near future. Joy happens in the now. Intentionally embrace it. If it costs you your peace, it's too expensive. Make yourself rich by making your wants few. Do something for your inner child today. I did not realize this card was in here, but that explains the inner child energy that I was picking up on. And that's exactly what you are. You're doing a little bit of shadow work and engaging your inner child more, being more authentic. making room. And what's great is you're defending it. In the future, you're realizing, yes, there's ups and there's downs, but when you're at one of the highs, you're enjoying it to the fullest. And anytime anything brings you down, you're like, nope, we're not engaging. You're also realizing you can make even more room for yourself in the future. Make yourself rich by making your wants few. Okay. Okay, reciprocity. Everything is an energy exchange. We're realizing there's a give and a take. Everything costs some amount of energy, whether it's energy you put into a job and therefore get money and then spend the money on something else that you want. There's always an exchange, a give and a take. So this is you making sure your cup is always full. So if it takes too much time, too much energy, if it's costing you too much emotionally to invest in, you're not going to do it. I'm okay with that. Don't know about anybody else, but I'm okay with that. Alright, and our next position, advice. Either to yourself or from someone else. Alright, and this advice could be from, like I said, self, someone you know, could be your spirit team. So please take that portion as it resonates. Talk to yourself like someone you love. Be who you need. Okay. There's sagacity in that. Taking care of you first before someone else. Being kinder and compassionate to yourself. Okay, they're bringing it back. Sorry. As I was playing with viewpoints earlier, they did give me a song, and it escapes me who did the original. You Don't Own Me was the song they gave. In fact, they were repeating two lines. You don't own me, I'm not one of your many toys, was what they were giving me, the two lines of the song. And that was it. They were just saying it over and over. They're bringing it back. So, for those of us that are taking on notions from somebody else, realities of somebody else, expectations of somebody else, being used and abused. Yeah, be nicer to yourself. Especially if someone else is not doing it. And if no one's taking care of you, remember, the one that should be taking care of you is you. You can't expect other people to always be there, to be everything you want, need. Especially if you're under the impression that happiness is gained from somebody else. So beware of that. If we're seeking approval and love all the time from others, but not giving it to ourselves, the care to ourselves, that is to our own detriment. Just saying. For whoever needs it. Okay. Oh, okay. That's why you're bringing the song back. All right, we're gonna have to hold up just for a quick sec. Talk to yourself like someone you love. You don't own me. Sometimes when you talk to yourself well and you're dealing with somebody who is not that way towards you or has other intentions, some toxicity, some narcissistic behaviors or does not respect boundaries. Sometimes you have to put your foot down. Sometimes you literally have to get them to back off, and that means telling them no. That means sometimes getting in their face, rejecting what they're suggesting, or cutting them off, reinforcing boundaries. Sometimes talking to yourself in a loving way is not always internal. Sometimes it's literally telling somebody else, you just stepped over my boundary. Back up. Okay. The voice of reason. We are almost done. We are to our environment. Alright, our environment. We have 3 cards. You don't need to be available to everyone. Your sensuality is sacred, not shameful. You are not responsible for the reactions, emotions, or behaviors. Yeah, this is where that song comes back into play. You don't own me. I'm not one of your many toys. In other words, boundaries. Putting your foot down. Telling yourself and others what is yours, what is theirs, and to butt out. Personal space. Not owning things that you don't have to own. Okay, so separation. There we go. Okay, so those that may have absorbed far too much or have toxic attachments in some format, you are getting separation from that. And if you are in a phase of transition, which is what we're seeing here, transition, either starting a new phase or ending the other one, especially ending, that causes a period where we're going to have a little bit of separation from certain things. It's that releasing aspect. And I'll definitely say with these cards, it's ripe for the picking to do that. Now, whether or not you choose to use that energy, tap into that energy, or ignore it is entirely up to you. I mean, I'm all for showing a little backbone, but others sometimes have issues with such content. And now we're going to tackle hope and fears. Hope and or fear, and I say and or because a lot of the times these go both ways. We have 4 cards for you. Stop comparing, criticizing, invalidating, punishing, hurting, shrinking yourself. I accept my blank a little more today. What is bubbling up? Where do you feel it? Soil, grounded, sustained, at ease. So the hope is actually being grounded, to get a grasp on things, to become more emotionally balanced, a little less chaotic, not being at the mercy of others when it comes to either emotional wounding or the emotions they invoke. However, the fear is those perceptions, the opinions of others may overtake you. Remember, we all carry that white noise from everybody else, their realities, their opinions, their perceptions. We hear it, and sometimes we retain it. And then we start owning it, And it becomes a permanent voice in our head. And then we start the negative self-talk. We absorb it, and it never really leaves us. And it becomes difficult for our own self-esteem and our own self-worth to combat it. It's like having two wolves inside your head, and whichever one you feed the most is the one that wins. And there's a certain aspect of when that's going on that your emotions run rampant and things boil over. Which means we lash out, we have tantrums, we erupt. Or even worse, we break down. But that seems to be our toggle switch sometimes. We're either really down, negative, that's so depression, bouts of crying, or we take it the other way, the opposite end of the spectrum, and we get snappy, we get angry. And that aggression usually has or needs a physical outlet, whether it's exercise or the unhealthy one. And for those of us that may let fear overcome us and we exercise it the wrong way, physical violence or something along that lines. Okay. Hope is we stop things in their tracks. We fix how we talk to ourselves. Our mindset gets reset. We get that foundation where we can grow up from. But the fear is that it turns into quicksand. All right, folks, we've made it to our last placement, our outcome. All right, we are only got 2 cards for the outcome. Fan your fire. Rest and reset. Mind, body, spirit. Okay. Finding our joy, our happiness, our zest and zeal for life again. Rediscovering our authentic self and our inner child. But also taking action. Hopefully to, if we're still in that transition phase, making that transition. Or if we're in a new chapter, to get off the start line. Yes, rest and reset, mind, body, spirit, coming back to center, being more authentic, getting rid of the mask that everybody else has us wear, or quit hiding ourselves. Instead, we're coming back to ourselves, learning to talk to ourselves more appropriate. And this very much with our outcome. Fan your fire. If I remember right, today we have Mars in Aquarius, but we just got out of a new moon in Aquarius. I do believe my reading for that was self-motivation. And the Fan Your Fire card reminds me of the self-motivation. That energy is still there, that Aquarius energy. Carrying over our drive and ambition for self-betterment, motivation. It is still here. It is still helping us. As long as we're, as I said, in the lowest potential, getting back into the flow, that rhythm, energetically to utilize it. Make sure there's nothing else here before I let you go. Okay. A lot going on. Let me know if this works for you as a Celtic cross. It is a daily tarot reading, and I usually do these for bigger readings, monthly readings, new moon, full moon, or something very specific. But this is what my ancestors wanted. I did add up all your cards for the sake of numerology. And cards like this one, for example, that are not numbered, I placed a value of 1 on. Everything here adds up to 606, which ultimately reduces to 3, which is new beginnings and communication. We see that here. The wanting the new start, transitioning to the new cycle, or starting a new cycle and trying to get it up and running, as well as the communication. Cutting out the negative self-talk, the negative perceptions and words of others, especially those if we have toxic connections. But rewriting our own mental attitude, our own self-speak, and how we reflect that to others. For those of you that do like the astrology, we do have Mars in Aquarius. Hence the fan your fire that came in our outcome that I picked up on. So more enthusiasm, motivation, especially for change and future and needs, even if it's unconventional. Take steps towards your dreams and embrace unusual approaches. Venus is also in Capricorn, which is sextiling Neptune in Pisces. Relationships can benefit from a gentle touch. You can be sweet and loving with those you care about. Make time for love and open your heart. In this case, a lot of that seems to be more towards yourself rather than those that are important in your life. I would say that you come first before anything else. Filling your own cup seems to be the prevalent theme here. Alright, my loves, if any of this resonated for you, by all means give me a big thumbs up. It's the quickest way to let me know you resonated with the reading. And if you do like the Celtic Cross, by all means let me know. And this is an oracle deck. If you were unaware of what this deck is, it will be in the description box down below as well. And so you can familiarize yourself with it, or if you want to purchase a copy, I do believe Hailee does have some extra for sale still. Anyway, my loves, I'm going to go ahead and leave this here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.